E la sua morte gelo smorzerà il tuo mal concepito ardore.
Non permetta il cielo, il pensier mi si sveglia di servarlo a me stessa. Dona a me prigioniero, quella morte che nel seno al superbo politica ragion d'impero affretta, con men fasto si creda vile trofeo.
Okay, so get this. We've got something truly bizarre. Almost feels more like a movie plot than history, but we're going to dive into it. We're talking about the alleged discovery of the Ark of the Covenant, and the whole thing starts with a declassified CIA document, which the Daily Mail reported on last year in March 2025.
And what's really fascinating is this intersection of like Cold War intelligence and this religious artifact that has so much history and spiritual weight attached to it. I mean, the Ark of the Covenant, that name alone evokes so much in terms of power and mystery, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Shall we talk Ark of the Covenant? Because I've been waiting to talk about this all day. New CIA documents just resurfaced from 1988 that claims the Ark of the Covenant is real, and we have a location for it. Sounds like something out of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it's true. And the CIA, according to these reports, says the Ark was confirmed to exist through remote viewing, describing a gold-covered chest guarded by powerful beings in an underground Middle Eastern chamber.
New tonight, a sudden reversal from President Trump on the Epstein files. The president is now calling on Republicans to publicly release the files in the case of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. For months, the president has repeatedly called the Epstein case a, quote, Democratic hoax. After a months-long standoff, the House is scheduled to vote this week on legislation to make the files public. If it passes, it would still need to clear the Senate. On social media tonight, the president now says there's nothing to hide, adding it's time to move on.
They're using Jeffrey Epstein as a deflection from the tremendous success that we're having as a party.
Meanwhile, the anti-trafficking group World Without Exploitation put out a public service announcement today featuring 8 Epstein survivors. The women are seen holding photos of themselves as younger women as they make a plea to the public to call Congress and demand the release of those files.
You know, I first found out about you because of Fingerprints of the Gods, and one of the things that I found most fascinating when I started going into your work was the idea that the Ark of the Covenant exists in Ethiopia.
That's what brought me into this field. Before that, I wrote all about current affairs.
That story is so nuts, and it sounds so ridiculous, and people, you go, what? The Ark of the Covenant's real? But then when you go into the history of these people that lived there, and they all suffered radiation poisoning, and it's like, wait a minute.
Cataracts over their eyes.
Yeah. If this Ark of the Covenant is there, and whatever it is somehow radioactive, is there any sort of theory as to how they...
The Ark of the Covenant wasn't just a relic. It was deadly. According to ancient accounts, even the priests handling it would mysteriously die. But was it divine punishment or something more scientific?
They believe that this one church in Ethiopia actually possesses the Ark of the Covenant, and that these priests that are supposedly guarding this, they all exhibit signs of radiation poisoning.
Yes, they all just exhibit signs of radiation poisoning. They go blind, they die quickly, and then somebody else, and one priest at a time, is allowed to be like the caretaker of the Ark. And
how long do they live?
They want to say like a couple years, something like that.
Some researchers believe the Ark wasn't just a religious artifact, but a highly radioactive object. Gold-lined, insulated, and deadly to the touch.
What did Jeffrey Epstein mean in his emails when he said you knew about the girls?
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago. It's really, what did he mean when he spent all the time with Bill Clinton, with the president of Harvard, who you know, who that is, Summers, Larry Summers, whatever his name is, and all of the other people that he spent time with. Jeffrey Epstein and I had a very bad relationship for many years.
More from the Epstein emails. Trump used a Russian model scout named Tigrane to find girls for him. Trump, Tigrane, Tigray, Tiger, Taylor, Tedros, Texas. She was only 13 when she was scouted as a model by Tigrane. She's now being referenced online as the first girl people are alleging had a connection to Trump and Epstein. Tigrane Khachatryan, who worked for Trump, ran Noah Models in Russia. There are 3 docs on his recruiting children as models. The Spanish holiday island of Ibiza bursts into the emails leaked by the U.S. Congress in the Epstein case as a modeling and travel scene. U.S. congressional documents reveal invitations to a huge house on the island, the presence of groups of Russian models and travel plans to Paris and Barcelona. The emails leaked by the U.S. Congress in the framework of the Epstein case place Ibiza as one of the scenarios where his entourage moved models, trips, and meetings during the summer of 2010. The communications reveal requests for tickets, stays in a huge house, and the names of figures now under investigation in different jurisdictions. The mails of July 16 and 24, the first formal mention of Ibiza in the case files. Ibiza breaks into the official documentation of the Epstein case for the first time through two email chains dated July 16 and 24, 2010. The communications were released by the Oversight Committee of the U.S. House of Representatives in the context of the publication of thousands of pages linked to the financier's environment. The messages show the exchange between Jeffrey Epstein and a collaborator identified as Daniel South and place Ibiza as a location for meetings, transfers, and model stays during that summer.
New emails from Jeffrey Epstein's estate that raise serious questions about Donald Trump and his knowledge of Epstein's horrific crimes. Read them for yourself. Jeffrey Epstein writing in a 2011 email that President Trump had, quote, spent hours at Epstein's house with a victim of sex trafficking, and said in a separate message years later that President Trump knew about the girls, in quotation marks. That's according to communications released today. Now, the emails made public by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee add to the questions about President Trump's friendship with Epstein and about any knowledge that he may have had in what prosecutors call a years-long effort by Epstein to exploit underage girls.
Say hello, Nadia. Hello, my name is Nadia. I'm 13. Конечно, модель стать хорошей. Но я просто такая серая мышка. Хочется, чтобы что-то другое было в жизни.
Donald.
Howard.
How are you? By the way, your arch enemy, AJ Benz, is here.
AJ's a nice guy. I like him, even though I hear he said negative things about me in his book.
Just one chapter's worth, that's all.
I can't believe it.
Did you know you went after his girlfriend?
Yes.
No, I did more. I stole his girlfriend, but I didn't know I was stealing his girlfriend, Robin.
He's so new. He's so new.
Hey, AJ, nobody told me I was stealing your girlfriend. Nobody told me that was your girlfriend.
I know. Well, you're
Donald,
very
isn't
honorable guy, so I have to believe you.
Wait a second. Isn't it one of the greatest things in the world to be able to steal AJ's girlfriend?
I just didn't know it. You know what? I've always liked AJ. Yeah. AJ rightfully can't stand me now, and I can understand that.
No, I don't.
But wait a minute, Donald.
But at the time, I did something that I didn't know I was doing. I had no idea it was AJ's girlfriend, and it's one of those little things.
Let me fast
Who was the? Oh, go ahead. What is?
So I'm dating Cara Young. Okay. I moved to L.A., so me and Cara break up. So she was a free agent. You know, even though we were still up, she was, so I don't...
So what are you faulting?
Listen, I'm not mad that he went after and we broke up. But then I got back to town, and I approached Donald at a party at Charles Evans' house, and I said, hey, this is not some arm piece for me. I love this girl. Now, stay away. I had naked pictures of your wife a long time ago when I was a cool guy and gave you the shots. And he said, you're right. I'm sorry.
Whoa. Hold it a second. You had naked pictures of Donald
Trump? Of Ivana or
No. Chuck Jones was sending the Xeroxes out.
All right, go ahead, yeah.
And I gave them to Donald. I said, AJ, you're a stand-up guy. Then he forgets what I did for him. Now, if he was cool, he would have walked away. I realize you can't make any girl sleep with you.
Of course.
I understand that. But as a man's man, he should have said, hey, there's plenty of girls out there. I'm sorry, I would have done that.
Don't hit on AJ's girl.
I gave him a warning.
Number one, I'm going to say something here. I got to take a little umbrage with you.
Uh-oh.
Number one, you were broken up with the girl.
But when I got back with her, he was...
Wait a second. Trump starts going out with her. He starts developing feelings.
Fine.
You broke up with her. Let her decide. But wait a second. It's her decision at that point. He didn't go after her when you were with her.
Yes, he did. The second time around he did.
Because he already had feelings for her. You broke up with her.
But I succeeded. But here's the problem. First of all, we have to say she's a wonderful girl. You know, she's really a fantastic girl.
Must be if you guys are fighting over her. How do I get her?
We don't fight over.
Nobody's fighting.
Wait a minute. I got to clear this up.
She is a wonderful, Robin. She's a wonderful girl.
Did you know? You knew AJ wanted her.
Second time he knew.
Well, no, the second time, but by that time I was there.
Yeah. I mean,
what am I going to do? I was there.
AJ,
once you're there, you're there.
Wait. I'm being serious. AJ, you're a little out of line with this time.
No.
Because, wait a second. You guys broke up. He starts to develop a relationship with her and feels for her.
Right.
You suddenly march back in. Hey, this is no arm candy. I want to.
The night that I approached
be
him,
a stand-up guy and back off.
Well, the night I approached him, he should have been standing up and said, you know what, AJ?
I really don't remember that, though, AJ. I must be honest. Where did you approach me?
I saw you at Charles Evans' party.
Yeah, but I remember seeing it. I don't remember you saying it.
I was with Cara that night, and you said, no. She should have said, you know what? I got feelings for the girl. I don't.
Or maybe he had feelings for the girl.
He should have said that.
He's not going to tell you that.
What? Who?
But Donald, how did you feel following AJ? Seriously. Did you?
I didn't even think about it.
Really?
He thinks of nothing but himself. He don't think of nobody but himself.
I assume AJ's clean. I hope he's clean, but I assume AJ's clean.
Meanwhile, this is, but he bangs Russian people up. You know,
Russian people? Russian people?
Russian? I don't. Who are you talking about, Russian, AJ? I don't know anything.
Listen, he used to call me when I was a columnist. He used to call me when I was a columnist and say,
look, AJ wouldn't. Hey, Howard. Howard. AJ wouldn't feel this way.
The girls have no morals.
If he won. You know, when you win,
he's out of his mind.
Howard, when you win, you don't feel the way he feels.
Why'd you win? You got stuck with the Stepford wife. Why did you win?
Wait a second.
I'm best friends with Carl.
I won your girlfriend, AJ.
AJ, you're a stand-up guy.
AJ, I won your girlfriend.
How did you win?
You know it.
Wait, How did you win?
You know it.
It wasn't
she knows it, and everybody knows it. I won your girlfriend.
I wish you'd call right now because I know
AJ, I have indisputable proof, and you know it.
You know what? All right, do me a favor.
What are you talking about?
Can you call a cell phone 400 times again last week and just keep hanging up on her?
Who does?
You. We always know it's you.
Ridiculous.
Oh my God.
You're saying Donald Trump, he's got the most beautiful woman. He's got. You're saying he calls her cell phone.
AJ, if you wanted to really say the truth, you know exactly what was happening.
You know what?
Why don't you try going back to her, AJ?
We're best friends. She was with me 2 nights for a book party.
Well, why don't you go? Go back to her. See if you can get her back.
Why don't you go back with her?
I'm not trying to do that. She's got a boyfriend. We're totally best friends. I don't care about it.
You're not going to be able to go back to her.
I'm not going back to her.
You ruined her.
Unfortunately, I've ruined that for you, AJ. Whether you like to admit it or not.
Hey, Donald. Really?
He thinks of nothing but himself. He don't think of nobody but himself.
I assume AJ's clean. I hope he's clean, but I assume AJ's clean.
Meanwhile, but he bangs Russian people up. You know,
Russian people? Russian people?
Who are you talking about, Russian, AJ? I don't know anything.
Listen, he used to call me when I was a columnist. He used to call me when I was a columnist and say,
look, AJ wouldn't. Hey, Howard. Howard. AJ wouldn't feel this way.
The girls have no morals.
If he won. You know, when you win,
he's out of his mind.
It hides in plain sight. Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing, but we had no one that was legal aspect that would go after him. They were afraid of him. For whatever reason, they were afraid of him.
I bet I'm not what you're expecting. However, I did give Donald Trump a golden shower. Here it is. This is one of 2 in existence that I'm aware of. It is a golden shower head. And back about 3 years ago when he was fighting with Rosie, I mailed him one of these. And in the letter I said that I was well aware of his affinity for gold and I thought he would enjoy this because it is one of the finest shower heads on the market. And told him that if he didn't like it, send it to Rosie. He sent back a very nice letter, by the way, saying that he liked it very much. So if you would like the other one, I'll tell you how you can get it. You can email me at Raquel, that's RACHIELE, @gmail.com. It's $350. You can have your own golden shower. Have a great day.
Greetings, my friends. The November 5th U.S. election is at hand, and I'm thankful to make this video just before the election. Looking back at October, at the end of that month, something happened in Jerusalem that I want to talk about in this video. As most of you know if you follow this channel, we believe Donald Trump will return to the White House as president in 2025, and we believe Trump is the biblical Antichrist foretold in the scriptures, the man of sin who fulfills all the Bible prophecies concerning the final end times Antichrist.
Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, thank you so much for being here. As you just heard, and I know you saw, the president says he's withdrawing support for you, encouraging primary challengers. You were one of his biggest supporters. What do you think happened here?
Well, Dana, thank you for having me on, and that is true. I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did. Campaigned all over the country, spent millions of my own dollars helping him get elected, and I think that's incredibly important. And I do support him and his administration, and I support them in delivering the campaign promises we made to the American people. His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. However, I have something in my heart that I think is incredibly important for our country, and that is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it has divided our country, split up friends and families, neighbors, and it's not solving our problems. The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor, and that is so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
What do you think happened? What do you think is the reason for this?
Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein files, and that is shocking. And, you know, I stand with these women. I stand with rape victims. I stand with children who are in terrible sex abuse situations, and I stand with survivors of trafficking and those that are trapped in sex trafficking. And I will not apologize for that. I believe the country deserves transparency in these files, and I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected if they have done anything wrong. And so I'm standing with the women, and I will continue to do my small part to get the files released.
You said on X yesterday, quote, "It's astonishing really how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out, and that it really makes you wonder what is in those files." Are you suggesting there's something in the Epstein files that President Trump does not want Americans to see?
Well, I think that's the part that has so many people confused, is that the women themselves that I have talked to have over and over again said that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. Quite a few of them even told me they voted for him. And those are the women I would like to see in the Oval Office with support. I would like to see all of the women there with support. I have no idea what's in the files. I can't even guess, but that is the questions everyone is asking, is why fight this so hard? This is important. The American people want the Epstein files released. And, you know, I've stood with the president. I have disagreed with him at times, Dana, and I'm allowed to do that. I think that's the most important thing we can do as Americans. And I'm urging my party. I've been putting massive pressure on my party and our speaker to pass the agenda that the American people vote for. That's the agenda that I fought for. Those are the campaign promises I made. And I can disagree with the president at times, especially particularly this past Monday on the Marines' 250th anniversary, when he honored the new Syrian president, who is an Al-Qaeda terrorist and was wanted by our government for years with a $10 million bounty up until March of this year. I very much am against that. I think that was very hurtful to the great men and women who served over in the Middle East and were sent there, and many of them that were killed and injured and live with PTSD to this day from fighting Al-Qaeda. So there's things I disagree with, and I'm allowed to do so.
Well, you mentioned the Syrian leader at the White House. You've also been critical of President Trump over foreign entanglements, H-1B visas. Now he's moving military assets towards Venezuela. I do want to play something that he said this week.
Don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else, and MAGA wants to see our country thrive.
Do you agree? Do you think he represents the MAGA movement as he once did?
Well, what the American people voted for with MAGA was to put the American people first. and stop sending foreign aid and stop being involved in foreign wars. They very much deserve to be put first. Cost of living is far too high. Health insurance is completely out of control. And those are two issues I have been very vocal on for months and months now, long before Republicans were shocked when those big losses came on this past Tuesday's election. So I think that the American people deserve to be put first. That's what Make America Great Again meant to me. And I think that President Trump can do that if he refocuses his effort. And I think that's what I want to see. I think that's what the country wants to see. Even if he's attacking me, I do want him to be successful for the American people.
So sounds like you're saying that he is not representing the MAGA movement that he started right now.
I can say that promoting H-1B visas to replace American jobs, bringing in 600,000 Chinese students to replace American students' opportunities in American colleges and universities, those are not America First positions. And continuing to really travel all over the world doesn't help Americans back at home. I really, and I said this to him, and I will say it out loud, I would love to see Air Force One be parked and stay home, and there be nothing but a constant focus in the White House on a domestic agenda that helps the American people once and for all. I stand by my words today. I think America needs to come together and end all the toxic, dangerous rhetoric and divide. And I'm leading the way with my own example, and I hope that President Trump can do the same.
Okay, so on that, I do want to ask you about something you posted just yesterday on X. You questioned who and what country is putting so much pressure on Trump to keep the Epstein files hidden. And you included a picture about donations from pro-Israel lobbying group AIPAC. What are you trying to say there?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's the question that many Americans are asking, especially when we saw information recently come out in these emails that the Oversight Committee that I serve on has released. And we saw Jeffrey Epstein with ties to Ehud Barak. We saw him making business deals with them, also business deals that involved the Israeli government, and seems to have led into their intel agencies. And I think the right question is to ask is, was Jeffrey Epstein working for Israel? And I'm proud to say I don't take money from AIPAC. I don't take money from any special group of people. I'm just representing my district and the American people. And so that's what I was referring to.
I just want to be clear. Are you saying Israel is pushing the President of the United States to cover up the Epstein files? And what evidence do you have that that is the case?
I simply just asked out loud, is there a foreign government? It could be any foreign government, but is a foreign government pushing to keep this covered up? Because people just don't understand the big fight against.
Well, you had AIPAC up there. It was pretty clear which government you were talking about.
That I'm questioning that government in particular and questioning any other foreign government.